Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Dan. Dan is from Los Angeles, in California, in the USA. So let's see what Dan has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello,
What
Dan. How are you?
tudo bem? Tudo
Tudo,
bem?
tudo bem? So, tell me, how's your day going so far?
Great. I went for a 6-hour hike
Wow,
through Tijuca Forest.
that's amazing. I believe you are based in Rio de Janeiro right now.
No, I'm in Rio.
Yes. So tell me, why Rio de Janeiro? Why you spend some time over there? Are you on vacation?
I am on vacation. I live in Los Angeles. I visited Rio in January. So
Uh-huh.
I visited Rio and also Buenos Aires in January, and I really fell in love with Rio. So now I'm back for 11 nights.
You're gonna be there for 11 months.
Nights. No, nights. 11 nights.
Oh, 11 nights. I was like, wow, amazing. So tell me, so far, what has been the highlight of your time in Rio?
So, what is my highlight so far? I've been here since Friday. Um, I really enjoy meeting people. My tour guide, Vinny, was really great. We chatted the whole time. So that was really great. Watching the Flamingo game last night at Popeye. Do you know Popeye?
Papai? No. The football player.
No, Popeye is a restaurant in Rio de Janeiro in Ipanema.
No, actually,
Uh,
I lived in Ipanema before, a few years ago, for 6 months. I don't remember this restaurant. So,
But that was fun watching the game. I don't typically watch sports, but watching the game last night was fun.
tell me where are you from,
Originally Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I moved to Los Angeles in 1997.
and why Los Angeles?
It was either Los Angeles or Miami. Have you ever been to Pittsburgh?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. If you lived in Pittsburgh, you would understand. I am somebody, I don't need the four seasons, and I really don't like winter. It's okay, but I don't like to live in winter. In fact, the weather here in Rio is pretty perfect for me
Very
because
similar,
it's
very similar to
um,
Los Angeles for sure.
Los Angeles gets more cold and and it's it doesn't rain very much.
I
And I
see.
do like rain.
See. And so tell me, besides the weather, what do you like the most about living in Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles, what do I like living? Well, it's it's actually getting more aggressive. So it's
Mhm.
becoming a bit of a harder city to live in.
Yeah.
Also, I've been there now for 20, almost 29 years, 29 years.
Yeah.
And so I have as good as a life as one could kind of have for themselves in LA,
Hmm.
but I like to drive, but I don't want to drive anymore.
Right.
I'd like to drive, but I don't want to drive anymore. And driving in Los Angeles has gotten actually much worse. It's people are more aggressive.
And what do you do for work for a living?
Piscolago. I'm a psychologist.
Oh my God.
I got my master's and doctorate in my 40s. So I got my doctorate when I was 49. And I actually became a licensed psychologist when I was 55.
Wow.
And I've done most of my clinical work with college age undergraduate and graduate students. However, now I work for LA County and I do administration. I do administrative work. I work for child welfare in the wraparound department
Wow.
for wraparound. And I also have a very small private practice. I take Medicare. So I have five older adults and two guys in their 30s.
That's amazing. Wow, I love your story. My God, graduated at 55 and now you're, following a career that I'm sure you're enjoying the most of it.
It's good. It's good. I'm really happy. Uh, for anybody out there thinking a master's level degree isn't bad. It
Hmm.
can be a lot of fun. It's not, wildly expensive, but getting a doctorate is a whole another level. And getting a doctorate was a very difficult. Now I should let you know, I graduated when I was 49, so I became a doctor at 49, but I didn't
Amazing.
get licensed because I was having difficulty passing the first licensure exam.
I see.
But
Amazing.
I'm really grateful that I did it, and I'm now a practicing psychologist, and it affords me. It's like something I can do now until this doesn't work anymore.
Amazing. Okay, then. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far. Okay? Are you
Okay.
ready? Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Minha memoria.
Yes. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Of random questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay? Let's do it. Right, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? Amazing. First question is, tell me something that your best friends, what do they do that always comforts you?
Comforts me.
Yeah.
Kindness. 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 Kindness is comforting.
Totally.
And I try to be kind,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate kindness. So that comforts me.
So tell me one of the latest kindness gesture that someone has done for you that felt like, you know what, that moment warmed my heart.
Well, the guy today, Vinny, right? We really hit it off, and he was very generous
Mm-hmm.
with like being patient with me and helping me with some Brazilian Portuguese words,
Wow.
which was really, really kind of him. He didn't need to do that. He also is just started studying psychology, so we had a really nice discussion about my views of psychology and his views of psychology. So, and the driver was super nice. It just all around was people in Rio I've been meeting are very kind, very generous, very open to me embarrassing myself as I try to speak Brazilian Portuguese. So I've just experienced a lot of kindness in Rio.
Saying that, what's the biggest joy of being them? What do you like the most about being you?
I thought about this, and I am really, really grateful. Right? I'm not entirely sure where this came from. Is that I am forever curious, and my level of curiosity has increased. Like, I was curious when I was younger, but afraid. And so now I have much less fear.
Mm-hmm.
So I can really allow my curiosity. And that's one thing. I can talk to anybody who wants to talk to me. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. Right.
Yeah.
and I'm always trying to engage people and chatting.
Hmm.
So people who, you know, like Vinny. I mean, we spent 6 hours hiking in the forest and chatting.
Wow,
That's pretty near perfect for me.
beautiful. Next question. Let's do it.
Shake.
Okay. Next question for you is, tell us about your earliest memory in life.
On it, and I don't know if this is a true memory or not, is the moon landing in 1969.
Wow.
I would have been 4.
Uh-huh.
And I have a vague memory of the TV in the living room and the moon landing.
It's amazing.
So that's one of my earliest memories.
And tell me, when you think about Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Well, there's a couple. First, I know that I said earlier that I don't want to live in
Hmm.
the cold and the snow, but nice, but right? On a night when it's freshly snowed and the moonlight, it's like the moonlight is out and there's fresh snow, very monochromatic, right? It's just basically white and black. And it's stunning. It's stunning. And the other thing that I really liked about Pittsburgh is in the summertime how lush it is. It's like real lush.
Wow.
It's so lush. And the hardwood trees, their branches go over the roads. So you could be driving through like a tunnel, canopy of leaves down the street. And I
Wow.
loved the lushness of Pittsburgh in the summer.
What's the meaning of life for you then, when you think about life?
That's a really good question. And I do think about that, right?
Hmm.
And I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Good, good.
I have a lot of thoughts about this. Um, First off, I very much, and so stop me when you want me to stop. I very much love Carl Jung's idea of the tension of the opposites,
Hmm.
right? Is that the goal is to live between two opposing thoughts, forces, right? To tolerate that tension.
Right.
So it could seem like I'm being hypocritical or not like a but it's really living in between these two things. So there's kind of two things trying to do simultaneously, which is to both live for others and live for yourself.
Wow.
And finding that sweet spot. And actually I expand that. So are you ready? The Holy Trinity, the
Right.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I am the Son. The Father is the community, and the Holy Spirit is something higher. I personally don't believe in selfless service. And I believe that the sweet spot of my service is when I get something, the community gets something, and the greater good gets something.
Wow.
And it's a third, a third, a third. So I consider that I have skin in the game. I'm putting forth the effort. I have willpower, right? But I want to direct my energy in a way that isn't fully selfish, but I'm still enjoying life. That's one thing. Another thing, and I've learned this, and if any viewers out there are watching me, I want you to hear this loudly, right? As soon as you are able to start on this path, I am learning that what life gives me, the attitude, the way that life comes at me is proportional to the way that I am in life.
Wow.
So if I go out into life curious and excited and kind and joyful, life comes back at me,
Totally.
curious, joyful, kind. And I just see too much how people who are miserable make their lives worse. But it makes sense, doesn't it?
I get your point. I do
Now
get.
this is now this is I want to be mindful. This is true to a point because I
Mhm.
am not a god. I am merely mortal. And life does throw us curveballs.
Mhm.
Life is just what it is. And when times are good, just respond to that goodness. And when times are bad, be as the best that you can be.
Wow. I think that being curious is just amazing for you to be able to be curious about being open, about being open-minded. You are always ready to learn. Be curious. It's a gift when you have this feeling about being curious. And kindness is so easy. Kindness, when you give away, it comes back to you in such a bigger proportion. So I think it's something simple, but it means a lot. And you feel it when it comes back to you. You go like, wow, that's a great feeling for sure. So I get your point. Amazing. Next question. Let's do it.
You're happy.
Before the next one, tell me what do you like the most about being a psychologist?
Curious. Again, I really love when I am curious about the other, I become more curious about myself.
Yeah.
When I become more curious about myself, I become more curious about the other.
Wow. It says everything.
And it sounds so simple, but I understand how people have roadblocks. They have history
Hmm.
that makes it difficult for them
Yeah.
to know. And it's hard to explain. It has to be experiential. It only happens once you start experiencing it. And as you experience it more, right, it can grow. But you can't describe it. It's like you have to experience it. And once you do, then you have a door through which you can make it grow. And I'm not Pollyannish. I'm not a big cheerleader. I just try, I like it when people like having been in my company.
Wow. Okay. Next question for you is, what was your best friend name growing up? And why did you consider this person your best friend at the time?
That's a good question. Um, I'm a bit of a loner. I know a lot of people, but when I was growing up, it would have been Andy McElree,
Hmm.
but that would have only been to a certain point of like when I've not, like, I was in Boy Scouts. I did Eastern European folk dancing.
Wow.
I knew the kids from my Catholic school. Like, I knew like different disparate groups,
Yeah.
and I would hang out with all of them, but none of them were like super close. You know who it would have been? Probably Sue Ann Polka. Why was she my best friend? Because she needed somebody safe.
Wow. And right now in your life, which person you feel more close to or more connected with?
Well, I was dating a gentleman, and he was one of the kindest people towards me that I've ever known.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up finding somebody else with whom he fell in love, which is fine. At the time it was hard. I can't, but I'm happy for the two of them because the person that he fell in love with could give him things that I could never give him. And I would say that person, the residual of our relationship, we're still really good friends.
Amazing.
This person's also had a couple strokes, some brain bleeds, which he's okay. He really is good, right? But there's a connection that I have to him. We maybe talk 2 or 3 times a month,
Mm-hmm.
but that connection still is very strong for me. And his
Okay,
boyfriend, his partner doesn't feel threatened. It's
it's all clear.
it's a
It's all clear. It's all
it's a
clear.
good relationship.
Okay, so he's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say? He's watching.
Oh, I say it to him all the time. I'm so grateful for him. If I didn't, if he hadn't come into my life, I don't know. He really helped. Pardon me. He really helped, and I tell him this all the time, and I him too, because at the start of our relationship, he had a stroke, and so it was very much we both were there for one another,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a life altering relationship, and it I just am so profoundly grateful that he came into my life.
Wow, sweet, very sweet. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Yes, you can always dance with me for sure. Before the next question, when I was checking your profile, there was a phrase there that got my attention. It says there, living life as large as I can. So what do you mean by that?
I'm in Rio, baby. I'm a 60-year-old dude. I'm HIV positive now for uh, almost 40 years.
Wow.
Almost 40 years, 39 years. I've been on medications for 37 years. I've
Uh-huh.
gotten a master's and a doctorate. I completely changed my career trajectory. And I was just walking around in a Speedo on the beach of Ipanema, Praia
Oh,
de Ipanema. I mean, that's what else?
you could
I
get
work
it.
out. I work out 3 days a week. I have 2 jobs. I have
Wow,
a good life,
wow. And
and
I
I
think
work hard. I work hard at it.
amazing. Yeah, I think, I get you. Now I got a feel about your phrase over there, but I just want to hear from you because I think it's about living life. It's about enjoying the moments that you are in.
And if I can say this, right, William, for those people out there, if anybody listens to this, it it took a lot of work for me to get here. And the thing that I tell people and that I wish for people is don't wait. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. So many people live too fearfully,
Yes.
but I understand why.
Hmm.
wake up. Do it sooner than I did.
Absolutely. Okay. Next question is, what do you consider most romantic?
It's indescribable.
Wow.
Right? But you can feel it. And it can be physical, physical can facilitate it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be, right? I love this, right? You can really know, right? You can know the quality of a relationship by how well people handle conflict. Right. And I know that in my relationship that I mentioned earlier, when conflict came up, and there would be conflict that would come up, we found a way to work through it. And the level of intimacy that can be achieved when you make strides towards moving through conflict, right? But it's also like both people have positively changed because of what they were able to work through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I'm not saying that's it's vulnerability, right? A freedom, a fearlessness of being like,
Tell me. Yeah.
just saying like not being shamed for who I am,
Mm-hmm.
but right, tension, right? But also not being so overwhelming toward the other, right? That we find a balance of like who we are, recognizing that there's other people around us too. And how are we in a relationship? Because you can be a freak, right? There's nothing wrong with being a freak.
I
But
love
if you
that.
don't give other people the room to be themselves, then you're just an asshole. You're a freak, but you're kind of a jerk.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a tension. Like, who am I and who am I with you? And who are
Mm-hmm.
you?
Tell me the very first time that love hit you, that felt like, oh my God, now I know what love is about. Now I understand the meaning of love. Doesn't need to be romantic, could be anything that felt like those butterflies in your tummy that you're like, oh my God, it feels great.
Well, it was sexual, and it wasn't the first time I had sex, but it was with an individual. And it 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 was inappropriate. And I understand a lot now, like what happened. Again, we choose the people, the people strike us a certain way, I believe, and I'm not alone in this, by the way, that people strike us a certain way because there's something about them and us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it happened to be a sexual experience, but it wasn't. It was the person with whom I was having sex. And I very inappropriately fell in love with that person.
Oh,
But yeah, no. It was inappropriate. And I've done that a couple times. My picker can be bad.
it can happen. Just oops.
Oops, oops, oops.
Oops,
I know my picker.
out,
I know my picker. At 60 years old, I know my picker.
2 questions left. Let's do it.
God, you're such good mood.
Right. Next question is, what's the best and the worst of being yourself?
The best, I think, is when people respond well to my charm.
Ooh,
The worst is when people have a strong negative reaction to my charm.
interesting. And what is about your charm? What's something unique about your charm that people always point it out in a positive way?
No one's ever really said anything about my charm. It's just, like the people that I'm meeting, the Brazilians that I'm meeting, they like my charm, right? Germans don't like my charm.
Interesting.
And believe you me, there are plenty of people in Los Angeles that do not like my charm. You know what the shadow side of charm is? Manipulation,
Mm,
right? And so some people could perceive my charm as being manipulative.
interesting. I like that. I understand. Last question. Ready?
Last question.
How do you
Shake
say
that
last?
ball.
Do you know how to say last question in Portuguese?
No. Now,
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tell you now. Última pergunta.
última pergunta.
Perfect. Última pergunta.
Última,
Pergunta.
last question.
Let's go. And tell me, 2026 just knocking the door. Yeah, it's almost here. And you're kind of person during this time of the year, do you make new resolutions? Do you kind of, just go with the flow? How do you feel about this time of the year?
I think it's somewhere between those two.
Okay.
Right? I both want to have some idea of what I'd like to work to, but also go with the flow.
Right.
Right? I kid myself and say that I'm open to dating, but I have no idea who I want. I say to myself that I'd like to grow my spiritual life,
Huh?
and yet I don't necessarily. I have in the past taken steps to grow my spiritual life, and then I retreat or I don't.
Right.
And I don't know where I'm at with that. So that's why I'm saying I kind of hate that word kind of. I hate that word kind of. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would probably, again, I think, a good way is to point myself and then go with the flow.
Amazing. It's a nice way to start the year for sure. Right. Next question is, I think that's going to be very easy for you to answer. Tell us about your best vacation and why you consider that.
It's interesting because I told you about falling in love, right? And something happened to me in Rio in January that was really odd.
Mm-hmm.
And after a couple days of being here in January, I was like, why am I not living here?
Wow.
And that isn't, I guess because when I was in San Francisco from 84 to 86, I really loved San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
When I originally moved to Los Angeles, I really loved Los Angeles. And then and the one thing I've discovered, I need two things: mountains and water. And now warmth.
Wow.
Mountains, waters, and warmth. And that is something that Rio has.
Absolutely.
And I don't like flat cities. So I've learned that I don't like flat cities. So anyway, Rio is still oddly very attractive to me.
Wow. I agree. I think I'm from Brazil, not from Rio, but I'm from the northeast from Brazil, Mato Grosso.
Nordeste.
I stayed called Mato Grosso. It's like 2 hours by plane from Rio. However, I had the opportunity to live in Rio for 6 months a few years ago, and I understand the vibe of the city. Even for a Brazilian person arriving in Rio, I remember the very first time. I was like, "Oh my God, what's that energy?" Just in there, just in Rio, walking, around the city, getting to see, the way people from Rio they live, the way they approach you, the way they talk to you, like singing. It's for even for a Brazilian person, it's impressive. So I get your point, and for you being from another country, for you it's like wow, that's it's an energy there that you don't find anywhere else in the world. I understand that for sure. Amazing. And I'm glad that we are having this interview right now. No, you're in Brazil, you are in Rio, in a place that you find a lot of joy and you find yourself in there. And I'm glad that we connected through this time of the year for you. Right.
How did you find me?
Again, some profiles just showed on my feeds, on my social media, and I literally just send away a message. If they say yes, great. If they say no, great as well. Just didn't mention it. So that's how we meant to have this interview right now. That's for sure. That's I agree. Right, done. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Okay? Quick thinking. Right. Let's start with family.
Complicated.
Life.
Possibility.
Money.
Necessary.
Fear.
Conquerable.
Love.
Gift.
Religion.
Complicated.
Sex.
Blessing.
Politics.
Unfortunate.
Friendship.
Complicated.
Desire.
Gift.
Regret.
Burden.
Success.
Effort.
One word for wish.
Goal.
Happiness.
I don't like that. Oh, I'll just say it. Overrated.
Okay. One word for Los Angeles.
Complicated.
One word for Pennsylvania.
Big.
USA. One word.
God, I keep saying this word complicated.
That's okay. One word for psychologist.
Opportunity.
The last one now, Rio de Janeiro. One word.
Rio de Janeiro. Paradise.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, define them in one positive and one negative word only, what your best friend would say about you.
But in more than one word.
Okay. What they would say about you. Negative,
Right.
positive way.
Joy of living, joy of life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the negative would be I change subjects too quickly. I like flit.
Interesting. I see. Okay.
And I catch myself doing that. It is a problem that I have.
At least you know. When you know, is halfway of the journey of understanding. Let's play now, Dan, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Before asking the question, you know, again, back to Rio de Janeiro, what's something about the city that has taught you so far? Since the first time when you went there and this time now, when you think about the city, tell me something that you've learned being there.
Oh, hands down, no question. Life gives back what I give to life. I travel really, really well. I like light up when I
Uh-huh.
travel.
Yeah,
And when I was here in Rio, Rio de Janeiro as a city just welcomed me. I don't speak Portuguese, I don't speak Spanish, and I somehow got myself to the airport and flew from Rio de Janeiro to Buenos Aires.
well,
And there was no English spoken in either the airport in Rio or the airport in Buenos Aires, right?
well,
And then I got to this little boutique hotel in Buenos Aires. And I got to that hotel and I was like, how in the hell did that happen? And it was a beautiful experience.
yeah,
Everybody was super kind to me, but I also was so happy. And then I thought to myself when I left Buenos Aires, it's like, why do I only do this when I travel? How do I
interesting.
bring this home? And my attitude and my job completely did a 180.
Well,
And everything about my job changed. It was
interesting.
remarkable.
Well,
And so I had said earlier, it took me so long, it took a lot of work to get to the point is life can really respond very well.
yeah,
And we respond to life very well, with the
amazing.
caveat that life is bigger than us and it's not fair. I get that. You know, I'm not a big, it's no life can be hard. That's not, but it's what we do in it.
Well, powerful. Hey, Dan, you can ask me a question now.
So how did you come to being so curious about others? Where did this come from? Has anybody ever asked you that?
Not this way, actually, not this way. Like the way you asked about being curious. And actually, you're gonna answer back to your point before. It's about being curious. I think people, we are so fascinating. There's always something to learn, to teach, to share. And I think talking to people around the globe from different backgrounds, different opinions, different point of views, it's a gift to be able to be here. I feel blessed when I sit here to do the interviews because I know I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to share something. I'm going to be, for example, you are in Rio now. I can literally feel your vibe of Rio de Janeiro just talking to you. Through the interview, I could picture myself walking Panama Beach, and feeling this vibe when people clap, when the sun just touch the water. I think it's great so yes, when I'm here, I'm literally fascinating about people. I can feel the energy through the video here when people sharing whatever they are. I just feel the vibe because I think it's a mirror in here. We are just having a moment where we are sharing this energy, this moment right now, and I think it's amazing. So yeah, that's what I'm curious about the whole concept about the show. It's about people exploring people's views, lives, So I think it's amazing to be here and being curious about people. That's for sure. Yeah, that's my answer.
May I ask you one more
Of
question?
course you can, of course.
So, what would be the best thing that you've learned in these interviews?
Wow, that's very deep. And I can tell you, what I've learned is that we know nothing, yeah, and we can learn every day. And also, what I've learned that I become a better person every interview that I do. For example, one of the very first lessons I've learned here during the interview, one of the very first interviews I did, it was this lovely man from Georgia. And through the interview, we were talking about different topics. And one point he mentioned about, he was visiting his partner in Asia. Okay, great, I got that. And another topic of the conversation, he was saying that he was going to visit his boyfriend, like in next city nearby. And I was confused. You could see I was a bit confused. And I was like, didn't understand. He said he had, a partner, a husband living in Asia. And he could see my face that I was a bit confused. And he said, because I am in a polyamorous relationship. When he said that, it was the very first time I heard the word polyamorous. Of course, I knew before that people, they can have different relationships and they can, I think we are open-minded. People, they can live life in a different way. But I never heard about the word polyamorous before. And that's one of the very first, things that I've learned. And I always remember because I was confused, I didn't know, and I was curious about. So this is just a little thing that I've learned, but I have no idea for how many situations I've learned. For example, the US, the Magic Box has been, most of my guests here, they're from the US, yeah. And interesting, as I mentioned before, through the interviews, I've been in some states that I even never heard before, the name, the state, the capital. They educate me so much about the USA that now I have a lot of more knowledge about the country just because of the interviews. Do you know what I mean? So there are some states, Rhode Island, that's a very small state that I didn't know much about it. Really? So there's so many situations that I become a better person every day when I sit here for do the interviews and always learn something new. That's what I like the most about the show. Yeah.
Thanks.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Sim, muito prazer.
Oh, o prazer é todo meu. The pleasure is all mine.
No, this was great. It's very unusual just to get a message.
Of course.
Hey, can I interview you? How many have you done?
Over 1,500 interviews, I guess. Yeah.
Wow. Do you make money from this on YouTube?
Not yet. That's what I'm working hard for it. Yes.
Oh, good luck.
Thanks again, Dan. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for taking the time on your vacation. My God, I can't believe that you made the time for it. So thanks so much for being part of the show. And, it's great to hear that you're in a place where you're enjoying the most. And of course, comes to be in my country and very patriotic. So I love that. I love that you're there enjoying, having a great time over there.
We'll come back to Brazil.
Yes. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Just have a good evening.
Oh, amazing.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Thanks again for the interview. Muito obrigado.
De nada.
Tchau, tchau.
Boa noite. Tchau.
Boa noite. Tchau, tchau. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.